All right, welcome to our new unit or section. We've actually been doing this for a long time and just didn't realize it. But today we're going to add and subtract polynomials. So reminder for you, a polynomial is when we add or subtract a bunch of monomials. So something like 3x plus 4 is a polynomial. X to the third plus 3x plus 2 is a polynomial. So if we wanted to add polynomials, we're going to combine terms with identical variables. In other words, our like terms. Remember, that means combine coefficients or the numbers out in front. Do not change exponents. When you are combining like terms, you will not change the exponents. But what you do need to do is put in order highest to lowest exponent. So you're going to put your exponents in highest to lowest order. All right, let's look at our first example. I notice that I have two terms that are both x. I'm not going to worry about parentheses when adding. And I'm just going to combine the numbers. 5 minus 2 is 3x. And then do the same thing for the two terms that don't have an x. 4 plus 2 is 6. Exponents go from 1, because remember there's that imaginary 1 for the exponent here, to none. So I know it's in the right order, and that's my final answer. Now, because I know my answer needs to go from highest exponent to lowest exponent, I always look for the highest exponent and start from there. X squared. Well, there's another x squared with a 2. Don't forget that the first one has an imaginary 1 out in front. So 1x squared plus 2x squared makes 3x squared. Notice I did not change that exponent. I'm adding. When I add two things with the same variable, I need the same variable for my answer. Now I have a 3x and a negative x. Again, that negative x has a 1 out in front. So 3 minus 1 gives me a positive 2x. And then I have my constants, or my terms without a variable. 4 plus 3 is 7. Check my exponents. 2, 1, none. They're in the right order. So that's my final answer. And let's do one more example just for fun. Again, I like to start with the highest exponent. I see an x to the third. I only see that 1 though, so I'm just going to write it down for my answer. 3x to the third. Now let's see if there's any squareds. I have a 7x squared and a 5x squared. 7 plus 5 is 12x. Don't change your exponent. Square. Now I'm going to look for any x's. Just a single x, I'm going to say plus x. And last but not least, anything without an exponent. So 3 minus 7. 3 minus 7 is negative 4. Double check my exponents. 3, 2, 1, none. They're all in the right order. So that's adding. We've actually been doing that when we combine our terms while solving for a while now, right? Well, subtracting's not going to be much different. Subtracting polynomials. The biggest change is going to be this first step. Distribute the subtraction. Really what that means is that I need to change all signs after the minus. And then treat like adding, which means we're going to combine like terms. If I look at example number 1, I know I'm subtracting because of this minus sign here. I'm going to just start by distributing it. So 3x plus 2 minus 4x. And then I'm going to minus the 2 as well. Now I can go back to combining like terms. I have a 3x and a minus 4x. That leaves me negative 1x. And I have a positive 2 minus a 2. Positive 2 minus 2 leaves me with 0. So my final answer for this one is a negative x, because I don't need the 0 and I don't need the 1 out in front. Now what about our next example? I know I'm minusing, so I need to distribute my negative. So instead of a positive 2y, this is a negative 2y. And instead of a negative 5, I'm going to make this a positive 5. Because remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. And bring down your first polynomial. Now you can combine your like terms. I have a 5y and a negative 2y. 5 minus 2 leaves me with 3y. A negative 3 and a positive 5 leaves me with a positive 2. Powers highest to lowest, 1, none. So I know I'm all set. Now let's jump down to example number 4. I have a minus and a plus. I'm going to take my minus sign and I'm going to distribute it just to this piece that I'm minusing. So negative 2x minus 2x. A negative and a positive makes a negative 1. But since this one's adding all of a sudden, I'm not going to distribute my negative all the way down. I'm just going to bring it along. 3y plus 2 and 3x minus 2. Now I can combine my like terms. I have a 3x and a negative 2x. 3 minus 2 leaves me with just an x. Now notice this one also has a 3y. So I'm going to bring along my plus 3y. Now wait a second and pause. These both have an exponent of 1. So how do I know that the x comes before the y? Well, think about your alphabet. Remember, Ms. Markle constantly reminds you, math follows the alphabet. Which one comes first? It's x, y, z. So I'm going to write my variables in alphabetical order as well. X, y, and then I can switch to my constants, which have no variable. -2, -1, +2. Well, that all adds together to give me -1. And that's it. You guys have been adding and subtracting polynomials for a while and just didn't know it yet. So hopefully this section is easy for you. If not, well, you've got an extra chance to practice. Have a good day and don't forget to do your homework.